And meanwhile, as we continue our coverage tonight, Congressman Randy Feenstra was in Sioux City today showing his support for Israel. The nonprofit group Iowans Supporting Israel invited Feenstra to talk about his trips to Israel.
I want to tell the story of how important Israel is to the U.S. and I've been there multiple times, and we had a great group of people here that wanted to hear and were also advocates of Israel-American relations.
Feenstra also said that people need to realize groups like Hamas, which launched a deadly attack on Israel on October 7, 2023, are terrorist groups.
Well, the key factor is, again, telling the story that the United Nations and the things that are hearing, the propaganda that's out there is not true, that Israel is trying to do everything and they're trying to get the hostages back, but everybody has to understand that Hamas and Hezbollah are terrorist groups.
There will also be an Iowa Supporting Israel banquet that's going to be held in Des Moines October 28th. For more information, you can check out this story at ktiv.com.